is a world of specialty taxes out there that maybe you can explain some of these specialty items.
Yeah, we have a lot of specialty items that we have a lot of experience in. One of those is students. We live in a university town. We have a lot of students here. There's a lot of foreign students. A lot of students with, for example, J or F visas. They have very different tax treatment, and it's very important that you know that, and you know how to file those taxes, because they are very different, as well as just your normal students at the university, to make sure they get all of the education credits.
I think being a student, if you are a student here or your child is, it would be really wise to come in and talk to you and get that information, just even the information to know where to go, what to do, and make sure, because I think there would be penalties and things like that, wouldn't there be, if you didn't do it right?
Yeah, there is.
Fines and all that.
There is. We get a lot of people who come in here, speaking of fines and penalties, with fines and penalties from the IRS, with taxes that have been prepared other places, and they come in here for our help to fix those. Wow. And we actually gain a lot of clientele that way, because they come in here, we take them on as clients, we fix their stuff, and we keep them.
Well, and that took us away from students, because not necessarily students, but you're talking in the entire tax realm out there. Yeah. There are people with tax issues, fines and penalties that are coming to you to say, help me, because my other person got me into trouble.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, and so we help them out. We get a lot of clients that way, because we'll take the time to sit down with them and to figure out what is wrong. Call the IRS, 20 times if we have to.
Well, I love that. In the course of our visiting today, it's interesting. I keep coming back to this customer service, and you might be one that's at home pulling your hair out going, oh, I don't want to go back to that tax person because of the issues you've had. Well, now you've got a place, OSO tax service, that can actually take care of and ease those fears.
Yeah, I mean, if you get a notice and they're charging you, $15,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000.
Wow.
And you're not sure why, yeah. Really, this happens. Wow. Bring it in. Let us at least look it over and make a phone call with you and just check and see and make sure if there's something that can be done. Because a lot of times it's fees and penalties.
Wow.
And, the IRS can be somewhat understanding at times.
Well, that's really interesting. So let's go back to specialty taxes then. Students, I love that we're in a university town. Students are looking for help. So OSO tax service is great for that. And then business as well. And then these penalties. And what other kinds? We have different kinds of specialty taxes.
Yep. One of those, as you mentioned, businesses. A lot of people just have really small businesses that they do on their own, and they would file those on a Schedule C. And we're specialties at that, to make sure that they've got all the income in the right place, all the deductions. Another one is itemizing your deductions for those people with home mortgage interest and home, real estate taxes and charitable contributions and large medical bills. We're really good at finding all of those to see if, maybe itemizing is a better option than the standard deduction.
Well, and as you're talking to, I think about my husband and my conversations, because this is so far from our world. We're both very creative and very fun people, but this is so far from our world that I'm thrilled that it's your world and you can help us through that. Now, I understand what I'm talking about, my husband. There are situations, even with spouses that are divorced or different things, that can cause some issues down the line.
Yeah, we are very familiar with a couple of the forms with we're familiar with all the forms with the IRS, but there's a couple that deal with spouses. One of those is an injured spouse, and that one is for, say that you are divorced and then you get remarried again, and then your spouse happens to owe back child support or something like that. So the IRS comes in and they're going to take your whole refund. It doesn't matter that half belonged to him and half belonged to you. So you've got to actually file, a special form for an injured spouse, and then you are, allowed to get some of that money back, depending on how the return was allocated between you and your spouse.
Interesting. It doesn't mean that he's a broken leg, injured spouse. That's interesting, though, because you can see how that money can trickle down through the cracks, and you don't get it, what you deserve.
It's very frustrating for a lot of people. And there's another one as well that's called an innocent spouse relief, for if you have a spouse that did things on your tax return that you weren't aware of.
Illegal type things, you're saying?
Yeah, maybe they had a business, or maybe they sold a piece of land and you weren't aware, and they didn't pay the taxes on it. So now when you file, you owe $50,000 because they sold this asset maybe, and as a spouse, you really didn't know. You don't have anything to do with the finances, but you did sign the return. There is innocent spouse relief for that as well. So, not all hope is lost.
Yeah. So all these specialty taxes take into account all these special situations, so that's fantastic. OSO Tax Service can help you through all of that.
We sure can, and we enjoy it.
And you enjoy it, which also is an added bonus for all of us. So let's talk about your new beautiful location.
We are really happy here. It's really nice. We have expanded and moved over here just to the west of Macy's in Providence, right here next to the beautiful Cash Car Wash.
Well, and you've got a whole new market because you've been in the Emporium and are still there. So you've been doing this for a long time, but now you've got another market that you can serve.
Oh, it's so nice. It's, we're more out so people can see us. They can find us. Our hours are fantastic. We're here from 9 in the morning until 8 at night. We're open all year. We give those free tax estimates. So, stop on in.
Perfect. So look for the cute sign with the little bear. Thanks so much.
Thank you.